911 call came out on Highway 40 in the National Forest. The reportee stated that, he saw what he appeared to be a human torso. We noticed that it was just a torso. There was no arms, no head, and no legs. It appeared they had been cut off with something.
I was assigned to be the lead investigator with this case and took over the investigation. It's definitely ranks towards the top of some of the worst that I've seen. Our first challenge was identifying who our victim was. At this point, all we know is that on the torso itself, there was a pretty unique tattoo on her right shoulder. It was a tattoo of a robin bird perched on a tree branch.
When a body's out in the elements, out in the weather, it's kind of hard to tell whether it was young, old, what their race is, depending on the decomposition of the body. In situations like this, we'll definitely look at descriptions of our missing people.
Someone had reported her friend missing, a 60-plus-year-old woman, Robin Upson. Her friend hadn't seen her in several days, so she contacted the sheriff's office to report her missing. As we were continuing to confirm that our victim was Robin Upson, we went to her mother's house and we spoke to her mother. When did you last speak with Robin?
I think it was the 4th or the 5th. I'm not sure. She was down here and she used to take care of us and do a lot of things around here and stuff.
Did she have any recent tattoos?
Wow. Oh, she's got a new one on. She had put on her finger, I guess. But she's got a big one on her shoulder of a robin.
Of a robin bird?
Mm-hmm.
We learned that Robin did have some tattoos, and on the torso itself, there was a pretty unique tattoo of a robin bird that we were able to use to help identify our victim. We were able to get a search warrant for Robin's home. We found looked like a lot of tree work had recently been done. There was a lot of tree limbs and brush piled up in her driveway in front of the garage door. The garage door had been left partially open. The backyard looked like there had been a lot of tree work back there as well. Found a mattress in the living room that had been covered in blood. In the garage, there was blood all over the floor, on the walls, on the ceiling. We used luminol or a blue star, which was able to allow us to see areas that the suspect attempted to clean. We were able to see that there was blood all over the floor, on the walls, on the ceiling. We found saws that we believed had blood on them. And we were pretty confident at that point that the dismemberment probably occurred in the garage. One of our concerns was finding the rest of her limbs, her head, and we searched throughout the home. We didn't find them anywhere. While canvassing Robin's neighborhood, we went house to house trying to see if anyone had seen or heard anything. While speaking with her friend, she told us that her truck hadn't been seen. Just hearing those things, we were concerned, so we wanted to look into that further. While canvassing Robin's neighborhood, we spoke to one of her neighbors, Patricia. Patricia told detectives that she had seen someone that was driving her truck maybe a week earlier near Highway 441, which is close to Robin's home. We were able to locate Robin's truck at a cafe not far from where Robin lives. We were hoping to find out if anybody had seen her vehicle, to see if they had seen who brought the truck there, if there was any video that we could retrieve of someone pulling the truck into the parking lot. There was video of the truck in the parking lot, so we responded. And we had Robin's truck towed back to our evidence bay and made contact with the employees inside. We were told that a white male parked the truck in a torrential downpour, and he walked back in the direction of Robin's home. Once we were able to search the truck, we found a Walmart receipt inside. And on that receipt, there was a saw, a reciprocating saw, there was trash bags. Finding that receipt was a huge break. We went to Walmart, we retrieved the video, and see Robin's truck pull into the parking lot. We were able to see a white male go through the store and select these items. I felt that those were the items that were probably purchased to dismember and help dispose of Robin's body. Now that we know it's Tim that purchased these items, we want to find this guy. So we need to find out who he is, where he is, and make contact with him as soon as possible. As we're looking into this, I contacted Robin's daughter. I felt that her daughter may have some vital information that could help us to find out who he is, where he is. I met with her here in Marion County and interviewed her.
That looks a little bit, he looks meaner there. That looks like Chris.
I showed Robin's daughter a picture of a surveillance video just to confirm that's who it was. That's who she knew is Chris Takvar. You know, we immediately wanted to dive into this Chris subject, find out who he was, what the relationship was between he and Robin.
We met him before. She was, I don't even know how many years ago it was, but it was, he came, they tried to do business ventures together twice. Right. The first time was something to do with hemp or something like that. When we were there visiting at her house, he stayed in the room that used to be my room. Chris came over and actually worked and talked to my grandfather and helped out, right, take care of my grandfather. And I think my mom and my grandmother both were like impressed by that and encouraged by that. And I think that's
a little more trusting of them because of that.
Because of that reason. They've also done a one that didn't succeed that led to a bankruptcy or something like that with her, is what she told me, or near bankruptcy, is getting a tattoo parlor.
Let's talk a little bit more about Chris. I think you had mentioned that they had gone into business several times. Is this a man of means, or is this a man that was...
No, she was the person of means. He was not. He was the one with the ideas. She was the one with the money.
Okay.
After speaking to Robin's daughter and hearing about the financial agreements between them, I felt that he was probably manipulating her. He was probably using her to fund his ventures. All of that can really build up and explode. As we looked into Chris's history, we saw that he had lived in Marshall, Texas at one point. So I flew to Texas and interviewed Chris's mom, hoping to get, again, some more background information. I wanted to know if she knew anything that could help me understand why this may have happened. Chris's mom told me that he felt Robin always wanted more out of the relationship than just friends or just business partners, that he felt she wanted it to be more of a romantic relationship. And that's not what Chris wanted. And knowing that led me to believe that he was really taking advantage of her.
Has he ever been violent? Yeah.
Domestic squabble type things, but yes, in that sense, yes. He does have a temper. It has to be something that he's passionate about. Right. He has to have an emotion attached to whatever the situation is, to any kind of anger.
Hearing that, he did have a violent temper, that they had argued, he owed her money, that kind of just was kind of building the foundation to me. We kept hearing this common theme about the money and the business, and I was really feeling that was probably what led ultimately to her death. But we still need to find out where he is. He basically vanished. A couple months went by, and we had a task force officer for the Marshal Service that worked for us, and he was able to reach out to the other agents and task force officers in Texas and Hawaii, and help coordinate kind of the search for Chris in those areas.
I received a phone call that there was a possibility that he may be in this area. I received a tip that Christopher was staying with an individual in the Jefferson, Texas area. I was able to locate an address for that person, and we were able to move in and make the arrest.
So I flew to Texas and then ultimately interviewed Chris.
I had done some tree cutting, and Robin got upset with me. I don't know if mood swings or what. She wanted me to stop and have a professional come in, and basically she, for lack of better words, told me that she wanted me to get out of her house. I mean, that's a polite way of putting it. I mean, she flew off the handle.
I didn't want to just come into the interview and immediately start talking about the murder. I was afraid that he would immediately close up and not want to discuss anything any further. I'm hoping to build a rapport with him and just get him to keep talking.
Do you know what happened to Robin?
What do you mean?
I mean, do you know where she is? Do you know what's going on with her? Anything? Have you heard anything at all?
I haven't talked to her since.
Okay. Have you heard anything that has happened to her, that she's in trouble, that...
No.
Nothing? Okay. All right. And you never saw her again after you left?
No.
Okay. So, I'm working a homicide.
Okay, who's
So,
homicide?
Robin's. And because you're the last one that I can put with her, I need to really get information from you to see where I need to focus my investigation. Robin's mom is beside herself. Summer and her kids are beside themselves, and they want some answers as to what happened to Robin, you know?
After our argument, I had heard her talk to, I don't know if it's gentleman on the phone or in person or what. I was locked in my room.
Mm-hmm.
And when I came out in the morning, she wasn't there.
He came up with this story that he had gone into a spare bedroom, overheard her talking on a phone with some guy. He didn't know who it was. And when he came out the next day, she was gone. So I've got him admitting that he was in the house the day before Robin goes missing, but he's still trying to separate himself.
She said she's on the phone with some guy?
No, I could hear her talking to someone.
Okay. Are you just not sure who it was?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you got up, where would you stay in the house? Where, if you walk in the front door, where was your room?
To the right.
I know with the truck, her truck, you had parked it at the Internet Cafe at 119th and 441.
I did?
So I'm kind of curious because that would have been after you said Robin left the truck.
You're pointing fingers at a homicide.
I was coming to talk to you because you were one of the last ones with her, to see her and talk to her. And I need to know if Chris can answer all these questions for me or if Chris can put me on the right track.
You learn to read people's body language. With Chris, I could tell when he knew he was defeated. So I kind of moved in just so he would give me some more information about what happened, why it happened, and where the rest of Robin was.
I need you to fill in that blank for me. I felt in my gut that you were gonna be honest with me. And something happened that made Chris do something that is out of character. The relationship with Robin was more platonic, more business relationship, more friendly, romantic. I mean, what kind of?
It was a friend relationship.
Friend relationship, okay. Was she content with that? Did she want more than friendship or?
No.
Okay.
She wasn't content with it, no.
She wasn't content. Did she want it to go further than what it went?
Yeah.
Was Robin helping you out? I know you're trying to, I know you got a business. Was she helping fund that or was she
She had helped at one point. And you know, it's obviously been respected and appreciated.
Right. Did you owe any money to her, or pretty much settled up, or?
I consider we still owe her.
How much do you think you owed her?
I believe the original loan was like $16,000.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
His motive was the money, the finances, his business. I think maybe she had decided to stop funding him because it wasn't paying off, and you know, maybe he wasn't returning any romantic hopes that she had, and maybe she realized she was being used by this guy. And once she quit giving him the money, I think he snapped.
When people are sitting where you're at, they're scared. And
I'm not scared, brother.
or concerned or whatever, but
I'm embarrassed. Robin started yelling at me. I was on the back porch, smoking a cigarette, taking a break. She come in yelling at me, shaking a knife at me. It just got violent. Unfortunately, I had a chainsaw in my hand.
she came at you with the knife?
Yeah.
So what happens when she comes at you? You got a chainsaw in your hand.
I went to defend myself, and someone wielding a knife at me. And unfortunately, it was an electric chainsaw. So when you hit the button, that was it.
I almost wanted to laugh at him because I couldn't believe he was going to try and make me believe that turning on a chainsaw and decapitating somebody could ever be an accident.
Did you go to Walmart after that?
Yeah.
Is that where you purchased the Sawzall?
Yeah.
And tell me where all that took place at with the Sawzall.
Garage.
In the garage. What did you do with her limbs, her head?
I buried him in the backyard.
He actually drew a map of the backyard of Robin's home to show exactly where she was buried. I felt like he was being honest with me at that point. So flew back to Florida, and sure enough, we located her. She was partially encased in cement, which I think actually may have helped preserve her head, her face. There was no doubt that was Robin. We charged Chris with second-degree murder, and he was found guilty and sentenced to life in prison.